only head node, sir. We can't access the other elements by deleting the head node, but will the other elements which are stored at different addresses also be deleted, or just only head node will be deleted? We return the
Yeah.
syntax only, right? Delete head node.
Yeah. So yeah, that is a good question. So what you are asking is you are deleting at the time of
Only head
creating.
node.
Yeah, at the time of creating, you have written create what is it? Head is equal to new node. Okay. So and at every other node when you are adding, you are using a temp node, and you are saying that the temp is equal to new node. Now, at the time of deleting, as you rightly said, we are actually deleting only the first head node. Okay. So, logically speaking, once your root node is gone, means logically you lost the array. But physically, they are actually connected. From where they are connected, from the second node onwards, they are connected. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so coming to the answer to your question, deletion of the entire list, meaning you need to delete all those nodes that you have created by using new. So typically, what you have to do is probably take node star p is equal to pointing to head node, and until p is not equal to null, p is equal to p arrow next, you have to start deleting p. So that is the right way of deleting. So
Okay, sir.
every node needs to be deleted. But practically, even if you delete the head node, then that implies logically you don't have the array, or you don't have the singly linked list. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
since we deal with the memory, which is RAM, whatever memory is now being blocked because you are not deleting the rest of the other nodes. Okay, so it is not a clean code. That means actually deletion means you have to delete individual nodes as the way that you have requested at the time of creating the list. Okay, so did I answer your question? So
Yes, sir.
yeah, specifically speaking, deletion will be completed only when you delete node by node. But logically, if you delete the head node, then there is no way that you can maintain the same singly linked list again. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good. Any other doubts? Any other doubts? Yes. Any other doubts? There are 28 students now. Any other doubts? Okay. Let me ask a doubt there. Can somebody acknowledge? Is my voice is audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Because I got a pop-up saying that I lost the connection with the server. Let me run this. Okay. Maybe I didn't exit at the last time. Yeah, I said, did anybody has any doubts? Yeah, I think Abhishek has came, roll number 1. Where are you, Abhishek? Abhishek, where are you? Sayasri, your microphone is on. You need to mute it. Then Ketan, Mukesh, Charan, 33. 43, Prasad. So all the students, microphone is on. I request you to mute your microphones. Abhishek, can you respond? I think he is using chat. I don't know. Ganesh is present. Okay, Ganesh. Okay, you have already started dropping the attendance. Fine. All of you, please drop your roll numbers. There are 37 students as of now. There are 37 students, as I could see. Yeah, so already 10 minutes is up. So let me start. I think what happened to the others? I think everybody know that the session is at 9:10, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who is this? Arif. Is it Arif?
Praneeth, sir.
Pranit. Pranit. Okay. Rakshal is present? No. There are still some students whose microphone is still on. I request you to switch off your microphone, and only if there is a need, then you turn it on. Yeah, Sai Sri, she has done it. I think students, yeah, everybody has done. Okay, good. Fine, let us go ahead. I think 38, so meaning 22 students, 21 students are still absent. So all of you, please drop your roll numbers on the chat so as to consider this as the attendance. I have started recording. I have started recording, and whatever activities we are doing, it will be getting recorded, and the link will be shared to you. The uploaded YouTube link, it will be shared to you. Okay, so I'm asking before we further proceed, if anybody has any doubts, please respond. Till now, what we have discussed, this is the which is there in front of you, and if anybody has any doubts, please use another 1 or 2 minutes so that we can proceed with the other logics. Anybody has any doubts? Use mic. If you are not having mic, you can use chat box. Anybody has written any doubt? No. Everybody are worried about the attendance. Okay. Any doubts? Fine. Now, I have a doubt. So, what is the see? Assume that you are able to maintain 5 elements. Okay. So, if you use the concept of linear data structure, which is a one-dimensional array, and if I declare, I hope the source code is visible. I hope the source code is
Yes, sir.
knowledge.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So if you see at line number 13 where the cursor is blinking, if I use int of let us say 5, my intention is to maintain 5 number of elements. Then what is the size I am demanding? It is 10 bytes. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now instead of this linear data structure, if I start implementing a non-linear data structure, then you are actually doubling your memory need. Why? Because every entry you are not only keeping the data but also pointer to the next fellow. So how do you claim or how do you justify that singly linked list is more efficient? Is the question. Let me repeat my question once again. If I declare an array A with 5 elements, and if I use the concept of a 1D linear data structure, the amount of memory which theoretically I require here is 5 into 2, which is nothing but 10 bytes. On the other hand, if I implement this such that I implement this with the singly linked list, such that if I implement 5 nodes, then the amount of memory you are demanding is 5 times number of discrete memories. 5 times each number of discrete node will take 4 nodes. 2 plus 2, 4. So this turns out to be 20. So in that case, how do you claim that singly linked list is better? Did you understood my question? Can somebody respond? Did you understood my question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So can somebody answer to my question?
మనకి కంటిన్యూషన్ చెప్తాడు మరి
Yes. Anybody? Yes.
Sir, we can delete memory in single linked list.
Come again.
We can delete the memory that we created in single linked list at the end.
Okay. No. See, for me, I need to maintain the data. For me, data is important. I don't want a deletion to happen. If that is my requirement, then it would be fair enough to say that I'll use a linear one-dimensional
స్టార్ట్
array than the singly linked list.
కాదమ్మా పుండు నువ్వు వానపుండు ఇప్పుడు ఆ
Yes.
Sir, if we don't have that 10 bytes of memory continuously, so we can achieve the array in form of single linked list by using 20 bytes of memory, na, sir.
Yeah, that is correct.
It is surviving our requirement.
Yeah. So see, here the requirement is not in terms of capitalizing or effectively utilizing the runtime memory at that point itself. Here the catch is, here you are demanding total consecutive 10 bytes, whereas here you are demanding a total minimum of 4 bytes, consecutive 4 bytes only. So you are also allowing in your application to maintain as long as you are in a position to maintain the single linked list. So therefore, as the data is always dynamic when the user is entering the different data implementation or realization of data structure, which is maintained in the form of a single linked list, always yields efficient coding. Why? Because the recently unused data sets can be deleted without the user's notice. The recently unused data sets can be deleted in a linked list without the user's notice. So therefore, that improves the system's overall performance and the reliability. So as a result, even though in line number 13 that you are getting a 10, I mean you are getting a very limited memory compared with SLL, that is single linked list. Opting list will allow the coders to realize or make the users to interact in a much available memory way. I mean, memory will be available as long as you are having the discrete memories. So that is the catch here. Anyway, so let us continue now today's class. Now there are 43 students. So um, good morning, everybody, once again, and let me just run through the list of absentees. Roll number 7 is absent, 10 is absent, 13 is absent, 23 is absent, 27 is absent, then 33 is absent, then 40 is absent, 41 is absent, 42 is absent, 46 is absent, 47 is absent, 51 is absent, 53 and 54 are absent, 56 is absent, and Hemant is present. What is your number, Hemant? Hemant 13. Okay, fine. So these are the list of absentees. Fine. So let us start today's session of continuation of the previous discussion what we had. So let us now use the concept of functions now. Okay, so now what you are asked to do is, I hope this slide is visible. Can somebody come in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you are asked to construct a singly linked list, maintain a 1D array, assume that the array is integers of unknown integers as the data set, prompting the following options. Okay. So the options are, there are various options. I mean, we will be keep on adding the requirements now. So as of now, let us start with the 3 options. First is, now you are asked to create a head node. Then second is add a node at the end. And third is you are asked to add a new head node. And fourth is you display it, and fifth is terminate. That last two is display terminate is common. Okay. So in today's class, let us split the class into 2 sessions. In first session, we understand how to modularize. We will understand how to modularize a specific segment of linked list in the form of a C++ or C function. Let me repeat. Let us modularize. Let us the specific sub-requirement linked list problem into a specific plus function. I think somebody's microphone is on. Please mute. Only if there is a need, you please unmute, and then you can talk. You can talk or interrupt me. Okay. So as you can see, there are three functions which needs to be implemented. Now think about the strategy. The strategy is first, create your wrapper linked list structure outside of main. That is point one. So please focus, everybody. First is when you are dealing with the singly linked list concept, always create the wrapper data structure, which is a self-referential next node structure, self-referential structure, which is giving a pointer to the next node outside of the main. So put it as global. That is point number one. Don't bring that fellow into local. That is a serious mistake. If you don't do, if you don't do this, then that means you don't know how to maintain a linked list. So let's write the wrapped up data type, which is the structure, the type def structure outside of main. That is point one. Now, point two, you have two approaches. The second point is, see, in single linked list node, the list has to start from where? From the root node or the head node. So whether you take up any process, every code or every function needs to mandatorily traverse starting from the head node or from the root node till whatever point that you want. So therefore, it is evident that in every function, your logic needs to understand where is the head node. Is the reasoning is clear? Are you following? Can somebody come in? Are you following?
Can you please
Sir,
Your voice is getting interrupted. Your voice is not clear. Can somebody come in? Are you following what I am telling? Is my voice is audible?
yes, sir.
Sir,
Sir,
Yeah, somebody is raising some doubt. Yes, go ahead.
sir, can you please repeat the concept?
Okay, so let me again. So mixing of modularity, which is by using the C++ functions and extending the concept of singly linked list is always a better way of coding. Okay, so meaning whatever we have done in this class, don't do from here onwards. That is in order to understand the concept. So therefore you bring functions first. Okay, now when you are thinking to implement the functions, now notice that I am not discussing the functions which are in class. There is no class here. There is no concept of a class here. Now I am introducing only functions. So when you introduce functions here, in a singly linked list concept or in a non-linear data structure which are based on linked list concept, a self-referential structure is mandatory. That means you need to tell at a global scope saying that I am going to use so and so type of structure. So therefore point number one is you, meaning the student, has to explicitly write the type def structure representing what is the data variable, which in our case is x, which is, to be precise, int x. What is your node name? It is node. What is your self-referential pointer which is pointed to? It is p next. And where you have to write this structure? Outside of the main. This is point number one. Any logic, any function, even for 2 marks, you have to first write the structure, because other subsequent logics will be formed only when your structure is clear. So is my first point is clear? Can somebody respond?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Now second point is if you take up anything that has to be done using singly linked list, because the link is in one way, it is starting from the head and then wherever you want you can go. Yes sir, no? You have to start from the head node, and that was the reason why we have taken special care of node star head, and then when you are adding you have taken some other alias which is node star p, and you have to make ensure that your head is not getting corrupted. So that means it is evident that in any C++ function for any logic, whether it could be adding, whether it could be deleting, whether it could be inserting, or whether it could be sorting, any logic in single linked list program, it is evident that you have to start your logic starting from the head node, and you have to traverse till the point until your logic is completed. Okay, so therefore here you have you have two options. Option one is keep your head node as a global fellow. Keep your head node as a global variable, meaning node star head outside of main. If you do that, then your functions will be very simple. That is what I have written in comment with void, because you don't have to pass every time the head node. Unlike in the other three functions, you don't have to pass anything. So instead of node star, you have to, there is no first argument. Why? Because the scope of node star is accessible not only in main, but also in any other functions. This is approach one, which is a very simple and good approach. Are you following? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
You need to understand. Okay, let me delete this here. So what I'm doing is, so if I define node star head, which is initially pointing to null, means if I'm going to cut this fellow, I'm going to cut this, and then use some sort of a function that. Okay, so in case one, so you know that you need to create a head node. So let us say create head node. Create head was the function. Create head. Okay, so I don't need to pass head again. Why? Because if I use this create head as a function outside of main, then here I don't need to pass node star. Instead, I need with what value I need to create. That is, let us say int k. Why? Because inside this head is accessible. Why is it accessible? Because it is global. So any global variable is accessible not only in main but also in the function. So therefore, the first option is maintain your head node pointer as a global, and then start building start writing the C++ functions, something which is looking at line number 15. So the first approach is clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Approach is, now the second approach, I'm sorry, the second approach is make this fellow as local. Means bring that fellow inside main, which is like there in line number 19. Now head is not accessible in create head function. Okay, so if you do this, then not only your element, let us say n, you want to add with n, but also you have to pass the head node, and you have to return safely the head node. You have to pass the head node, and then you have to return safely the head node. Okay, and again returning can be, you can even skip returning, you can keep void, because whatever changes you are doing with head will be getting reflected because you are actually passing the address. So this is method 2. Method 1 and method 2, are these two methods are clear? Method 2 is keep a local head, pass it as a local variable. Now what happens to create head here? It will be now node star h is aliased to head. Now here head is accessible aliased by h. And then, because I have already told that this fellow has to return the head node, so I'll say that head, it will be returning. Who has to return? The function. Okay, so this is nothing but node star type is the data type. and you need to make ensure that you are returning H. So is the second approach is clear?
Yes, sir.
Among these two approaches, there is no strict compliance or rule to make use of only one specific approach. However, we use second approach because of two reasons. We use second approach because of two reasons. Reason one, first reason is, if I want to represent multiple data lists or multiple data sets, let us say node star head 1, node star head 2, where head 1 is performance in your C++ course, students performance array, and head 2 is performance in let us say BEE course. So there will be clarity in terms of what data you are talking about. Okay. So since you have a strict compliance or a requirement that you need to maintain two different data sets whose data itself is different, and since you are not dealing with a single data list, then you use method 2, which is the first reason to opt. Am I following? I mean, are you following?
Sir. Yes.
Okay. Now the second reason is write a C++ function that will pass the address of the head node along with the value with which it has to be added, and it creates a new head returning the appropriate starting place of the head node. So these are the sort of questions which will be asked in your 2 marks or sometimes even for 4 marks based on the complexity. That means a specific problem can be framed in order to pass a specific list. That means accept the head node as a list of argument, and then any other dependency arguments which are confined to the specific data types based on your requirements, and then you will be asked to write the logic. So it is a better way to deal in between the coders to exchange the logics by taking the aliases. That means head in main is head in my create head is h, where h is alias of head. Now notice that address of head and address of h, they are different because it is not reference parameters. Remember that. Address of head in main and address of h in create head, they are different. What matters to us or what makes sense is address of head. That means the head node pointer which is in main, which was earlier pointed to null, is now not pointing null after create head if your node creation head is successful. So are these 4 points are clear? So therefore, with these reasonings, we will start programming or applying the concepts of modularity of C++ functions explicitly, passing the head node along with any other required data sets based on their corresponding data types. So am I clear? If anybody has any doubts, you are welcome to interrupt me and get it clarified. Can somebody come in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us now start applying it. Okay. So I want everybody to start observing the program, and I don't want you to write it. Okay. So let us, I mean, writing you can do it later. Okay. And I'm also assuming that at least you have done the singly linked list first program, so that concept wise now you are clear what is happening. Okay. If not, probably at least after this class, make ensure that you are completing without functions and also with functions. And now preferably whenever any question is being asked, either in your external exams or in your interviews, always you have to answer by using functions. That is a proficient way of or efficient way of expressing your logics. For example, you are asked to create a head node of a singly linked list, or add a node at a specific place, or add a node at the end. So you assume that you are getting a head node, and then you are passing some specific value with which you need to add. Okay. So let us proceed. So is the slide is visible? Can somebody come in?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Let me check the list of participants. If you have not dropped your attendance, please do drop. Yeah, there is a Ryzen number. Now 52 students are present. So drop your numbers. Okay, so let us concentrate on the head node creation first. So on the left hand side, you can see that this is the structure. Okay. Now there is a third important point. The third important point whenever you are asked to construct the logics is, first, what are the 3 points? First is write the structure. Second is formulate the function prototype. Formulate the function prototype and then write the function prototype. I have done a mistake here. It has to be create head node star comma int. Okay. Okay. Then third is depict the pictorial notion of what you are doing. That means now I am assuming that I am creating a node. On the left hand side down, you have a node with a specific value n with the pointer to the next node as null. This is my requirement. And I am assuming that my root node address or root node, which is n, that node's address is 400. This is the requirement. Okay. Yeah, I think I have written. Yeah. So you have two options, option 1 and option 2. In option 1, you can even write void. In option 2 also, you can write void as a return type. Because whatever change you are doing inside head will be getting reflected. But better way is always return the head node. There is another advantage that I will tell a little later. Okay. Now next is focus on how to create a node. So you are getting a head which is alias of some head. Okay, so that head is now new head. That means you are assuming that head is initially pointing to null because you are asked to create a head. So even if it is passing a non-null, or if it is actually passing a null, you are now giving a birth to new head. Okay. Now with what value you need to add? The element is x. Data is x. This is why I said writing the structure is mandatory. If you don't write structure, then what is x to me? If you don't write p next, what is p next to me here? Okay, so you have to write head arrow x is equal to alias n, which is the root node value. Next, head arrow p next is null. Return head. That's it. So this is your C++ function. Now here probably you can write another if inside this function. If when you are creating the head node, head is equal to new node. If head is null, then you can return null. Else you can do this. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So creating a head node is clear.
Yes, sir.
Head node function is clear. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let me take two functions and then we'll start writing it. We'll keep on adding the functions. Next, second function. Add a node at the end of the list. Add a node at the end of the list. Assume that this is your second requirement. Shall I proceed? Anybody has any doubts? Let me check the list of participants. Anybody has any?
Sir, while using a function,
Yeah.
why are we using like a call by address only but not by reference parameters list?
Okay. Yeah, that's a very good question. See, what do you mean by reference parameters list, is it possible to declare a reference parameter list without an initialization? Just let me repeat my question. Is it possible to define, maybe I'll use a quote space here. Yeah. Is it possible to define something like, let us say I want to define int, let us say reference variable R, probably, what is that? Reference. And then I'll say that R is pointing to address of X. Can I do like this? Yes or no? Observe line number 19, 20, and 21. Yes, yes. Yes or no? Any problem?
No.
No.
Why?
R should be pointer.
R is not a pointer. R is a strict alias of X. That means address of R and address of X must point to the same address. That means what? You have to mandatorily declare int address of R is equal to X. Then only it is legal. This is okay. This is not okay. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So therefore, what are we passing in the function is what is being pointed by somebody. In main, you are passing head. What is important is, what is the address of head is not important. Head is pointing to whom is important. Head is pointing to whom? Null. Now head is pointing to whom in this? It has to point to H. I mean your new node. So therefore, you cannot use reference parameters. This is a simple explanation. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Delete this. Let us come back to the presentation. Any other doubts? Okay. So next is add a node at the end of the list. So again, as I said, first write the diagram. Assume that you are asked to add a node at the end of the list for 2 marks. This is for 2 marks. You write a memory representation of a singly linked list and with a diagrammatic representation like this, and then you start writing. Then it will be easy to code. See, also choose the addresses in such a way that you yourself don't get confusion. Don't take the same data numbers. Don't take addresses which are very close. Okay, and don't take unnecessarily 8 bytes. I mean, the 16 digits numbers. Take some simple numbers. Okay, so now in this diagram which is on the left hand side, I hope my slide is visible. Can somebody acknowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in this
Yes, sir.
in this diagram, the root node is 400. That is for my understanding. Now my function prototype is node star, add at the end. I'll pass the head node and I'll pass the value with which it has to be added, that is k. Okay, so that means to 91, this fellow has to add k. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to create a temp node. Now I need to traverse the list. Now while I am traversing the list, I have to be careful that I should not corrupt head. So therefore I have to take p. Let me repeat, while I am traversing the list, I should not corrupt head, because whatever head I am pointing, which is aliased by h, should not be corrupted, because this function expects the clear head node to be returned. Node star has to be returned. That means you should not corrupt h. Okay, so you take a temporary node which is pointing to null, you take p which is again pointing to null, temp is to create a new node, p is to point the node at any given point of time, then you create a new node, then you create a new node. Now what? I have just converted your while loop into for loop here. Now what? for P is equal to H, which is alias of head, until P points, P arrow P next is not null, you move P. So now see what is happening. P is 400 here. For this, P is 400. Now in for loop, P arrow P next. What is P arrow P next? 500. 500 is not null. Is it true? Yes, it is true. Now notice that this is semicolon. This is a bodiless loop. So therefore, immediately, because there are no instructions, it needs to be executed. It goes to this last segment of your for loop. So now P will be updated from 400 to 400 arrow pointed to next node, which is 500. That means P becomes 500. Again you are asking to check. So 500 P is now pointing to whom? P is now pointing to first bogey. Earlier P was pointing to engine. Okay. Now P is equal to first bogey's address. What is that? 500. Now 500 arrow P next. Is it null? No, because it is 145. Where? In our diagram. Who has written? We have written. Why? For simplicity. For what? For clarity. Okay. So that the logics can be easily, traced out. So therefore what? Again, bodiless loop. Now what? Now P has to be moved. Has to be moved to where? P is now pointing to 500. Now you are asking the value of P itself to change with the P arrow P next, which is now 145. That means P is pointing to 145. Now this 145 arrow P next, 145 arrow P next, is it null? No, it is 365. So therefore it is again true. Now P is pointing to 365. So at the end of this for loop, P is pointing to the last node. Clear? Can somebody come in?
Yes, sir.
So at the end of this for loop, P is pointing to the last node. So once it is done, from that point P is pointing to 365. Arrow P next, which was earlier null, now replaced with the newly created temp. Okay. So assume that some address you have. I think that the diagram will come later. Then temp is already created. So temp arrow X element is K. Now meaningful link, last node, last bogey has to be null into symbol null. So temp arrow P next is null. Then you can pop up saying that node is added. Okay. Then you return H. What are you returning? H. Are you corrupting H? No. Why? Because are you moving H? No. Are you using H? Yes. For what purpose? Traversing purpose. By whom? By P. Why P? Another alias. Otherwise H will be corrupted. Even if I don't use P, if I use H alone here, then whatever changes I am doing in H here, because you are saying that P is equal to P arrow P next, there is a certain probability, 100% probability that head will be corrupted. Because of that only you have to explicitly use node star P is equal to null. And then you return the head. So that means, I think node was not added. Oh, I missed out that new node address here. Anyway, here?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, our intention is to not to change any head node now, sir.
Yes.
So can we use constant node star H?
That is correct. Actually, you have to use constant node star.
Okay, sir.
Any other doubts? Any other doubts? Please traverse the logic. You want me to repeat once again? Yes, anybody? Is it clear or you want me to repeat? Let me use the chat box. Who is responding? Clear. Okay, good. Okay, you can use microphone. We are all humans. Can somebody respond? There are how many participants? 56 participants. Good. So it's your attendance is a sinusoidal curve. As the time goes on, it starts with sine 30, then it goes to a peak of sine 90, then again Okay, I think it's a sinusoidal wave. Okay, any other doubts? So shall we start implementing this parallelly by using the IDE? Somebody use your,
Sir. Yes, sir.
okay. So what I will do is I'm going to delete everything. IO stream, using namespace. Now what? Step 1, type def. Please remember and please notice what are the things you are expected to write based on the marks. Let me again repeat, this is a very important point. Why? Because see, you may be well versed with singly linked list programs. Okay, assume that this has been asked for 2 marks. If you start writing all menus and then all switch cases and then the without functions or with functions, for example, if you are writing, if a question is being asked to implement a C++ module, please listen. You implement a C++ module that will allow to create a node k to the integer singly linked list at the end. What has to be written? This is for 2 marks. Okay. You implement a singly linked list module to add a node k at the end of the list. This is the question. So that means you have to write actually a function. Okay. Can somebody come in? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because time also matters. Okay. So what are the things that you are supposed to do? First, draw the picture. Draw the picture. Now this is where students does mistakes. You draw some picture and then keep the arrows and write some numbers. No, not acceptable. Okay, you have to carefully write the address of the next node inside this box. If you don't do this, you will get 0. Let me repeat, you will get 0. That means you don't know what is the concept of single linked list. So the first interpretation that the assessor will get is your coding is secondary. You don't know the concept of single linked list, specifying that every node at given place must point to the address of the next node. Assume that I'm writing 100 here, where okay, I have written 400. Now here I'll write instead of 500, I'll write 100, I'll write 200, 300, and then null. And here 400, 500, 600, 700. 1, 0. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Drawing the picture and representing what is that you are doing is mandatory. Logic comes secondary. Okay. Now then next is you segregate your requirement and then directly write the program. I mean program means only the function. And it is better to write the structure because what is X, what is P next, who know? We have to know that you know. So you have to write the structure. What is that structure? Earlier I have shown. Clear? I think I have given enough fundamentals which I mean the things which you should not do and things which you must do. Am I clear with this? In our approach, you have to start coding now. Can somebody come in?
Yes, sir.
Sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, so let us start coding it. Okay, so int x. Now don't take unnecessarily long variables. For example, element, then node star, enter to next node. Okay, so not required. Next and then take x. Okay. Now what? I'm going to use 3 functions. First function is it returns node star. It is going to create the head node. What is the time? We have 40 minutes. Okay. So node star create head, you are getting a node star which is probably pointing to null, and then you have to attach or create a head with a specific value. Then what? Node star add at end, where to whom I have to add? Node star. What I have to add is my second argument. Then what? Void. I need to display. I'll use display. Display the list. What list? Node star. How many? I don't need, because the similar to your null terminator, I'll have the last node is pointing to null. Now what? Main. Now what? As I said, I'm going to use the second approach with the node star head pointing to initially null. Now since I'll be using some temp node, I don't think I'll be using a temp node. Since I will be using a choice, int choice, and a value, let us say n, using those two variables as the local scope. Now what? While one. This is a infinite loop. Now what? Cout. One is create head, then two is add the node at the end, and three is display, and four is exit. Now what? I have to accept. What? Choice. Next what? Switch. Switch off, choice. Next what? How many choices? How many choices? 4 choices. Then what? 4 cases. Case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4. Next what? Let us keep breaks for every case. Okay. Now let us go into first one. This is where you are creating the head node. Since user is asking to create the head node, first of all check that head is not null. Head is not null. Head is not null. That means head is already there. Cout /n head exists. It is already there, so there is no need to add. Okay, so what I can do here itself, I can break. Are you following? So I'm saying that head exists and therefore I'm not creating. Otherwise I'll come here. So there is no need of else part. Somebody respond. Is my voice is audible? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so next what I have to create the head node. So that fellow is going to return head. My function name is create head. I have to pass head. Now with what value? With what value? Let us say that as n. Now let us ask the user to enter head node. I'll come here only if head is null. So enter head node value. Cn into n. Into n. Okay, so this fellow will return. Create head will return head. You are passing head. What are you passing? Address of head, which is not null. Address of head is not null. Notice that address of head is not null. Head is pointing to null. I hope you are clear. Okay, so once this is done, I'll say a statement saying that head is created. Okay. So let us start coding the head node. Take the function prototype, put it here. Take some aliases, node star h and int k. So I'm again starting node star h. H is already there. That means h is equal to new node type. Further, I'm not making any more changes. If h is double equal to null, that is not required. I'm assuming that you are working on a system with the minimum of 4 bytes, which is possibly available. Then what? H arrow x is equal to k. Then what? H arrow pointer to next node pointing to null. Then what? You need to return H. Or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so once you return
Sir, but there is no need to allocate P next address, sir.
pnext address is not required. Address is pointing to whom is required. Pnext is also is a variable. Variable of which type? Not star type. What was it earlier pointing to?
Sir, but it's a pointer, no, sir. We should
Yeah, it is
allocate
a
memory now.
pointer doesn't require to allocate memory unless you are pointing to a meaningful data. We are using a pointer not to point the data here. You are using a pointer to go to the next node address. So you are saying that p next is going to hold null. Because let me again repeat, the size of this structure is 4 bytes. What is that 4 bytes is for? 2 bytes is to maintain the value of x, and another 2 bytes, which is the address of p next, that is pointing to null, that is holding null. I hope you are clear now. Did you got the point?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So case 1 is completed. Let us complete case 2. Case 2 is what? Already head is there. Already head is there. Case 2 means you are adding the node at the end. Add the node at the end. This is the logic you are writing, you are asked to write. So that means see out. You ask the user to enter new node value. Whatever he is entering, take that into n. Reuse n here. Now what? Again head is equal to add at end. You have to pass head. You have to pass n. Okay. Then what you can do? See out. Node is added. N and a semicolon. Clear? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us start writing. Create, add at end. So I'm again taking this. I'm again taking this node star, add at end, node star h, and int, let us say k. Okay. Now what? I have to create a new node. Temp is equal to null. I'm already having head, but I should not corrupt head. So node star p pointing to head, which I can take in a for loop such that this arrow p next, if this is not null, then I will change p with p arrow pointer to next node with bodiless. Clear? But before this, I need to create a temp. That means new temp is equal to new node. Create the new node, traverse the list till the end. Traverse the list till the end. Then you are stopping. U means P is stopped. Now P is at last node. P is pointing to the last node. Now since P is pointing to the last node, what you have to do is P arrow pointer to next node, which was earlier pointing to null, needs to be changed to this newly created node, which is temp. Then temp arrow, this pointer to next node must be null, because then only it will be appropriate list. But where is the value? Temp arrow x has to be k. Then what has to be returned? You return h. Here, somebody come in.
Yes, sir.
Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So second is done. Then you will get node is added. Now third is display. What I'll do is see out the list is. Okay, so I don't need the return type, so it is display. I have to display the head node. I mean, I'll pass the head node, right? This will be my function call. Now, what has to be done? Display here. So void is display of node star h. What has to be done? You should not corrupt h. You should not corrupt h. So that means for node star p, which is pointing to h, until p itself is not null, you have to move p with p arrow pointer to next node, such that you have to print arrow x. Let me also print the link with a string like this. Okay, it's very simple. Take p, start from h. Don't take h and directly take print, because what happens? H will be corrupted. It will be corrupted then. Can somebody come in? Can somebody come in? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So display part is done. Now deleting part, exiting part. Let me write as of now with only delete head fellow. Okay, and then I'll say that see out. See out. Have a good day. Then I'll just return one here. Return means return from main. Okay, clear. So now
Yes, sir.
what? So if I combine this is if I club this is switch. So in main you handle only procedures. It becomes very simple code now. And then your functions will sit above main with unique addresses, unique instances with whatever requirement has been asked. So let's start compiling it. Okay, there is an error in line number 27. Let me check that. Here, what is the error? P was not declared. Yeah, that is correct. P's scope is not declared. That is because node star has to be declared here. Local scope node star P initially pointing to null. Let me enlarge all sections. Okay, so now let me this. Error, this must return main. I think we are returning in only one path. Okay, I have written void. End. Okay, so let us compile. Okay, so let us create the head node. So let us enter the head node as probably 10. It is created. Now let me display 3. Only 10 is displayed. Now let me try to create another head. I am asking 1. is saying that head exists, so you are not allowing. Now you are entering 2, add at the end. So let us assume you are entering 28. Node is added. Now let us display 3. I'm sorry. Can somebody respond? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let me quickly compile this. So head node is 1, and then create head node, 1, and then head node value is, let us say, 10. Now add the node at the end, which is 2. Let's take 28. Now node is added. Now again let me add another node, which is 2. Let us add 38. 48 I have added. Now let us display. So you got 10, 28, 48, and the last fellow is null. Okay. Now let me add one more, that is 2. And let me add maybe 99. Now let me keep 3. And so on. Okay. Any doubts? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
So let me
Sir, but
exit
where
this.
are we changing?
Somebody is saying something based on?
Sir, but where are we changing head arrow P next, sir?
Inside the code. Inside the code. Where are you changing? Inside the code, when you are adding, every time when you are adding a new node, the last node which was pointing to null, the last which was pointing to null, you are replacing it with the newly created node, line number 28. You are changing P next only when you are adding it. Are you clear?
Sir, but we didn't change head arrow P next, no, sir.
Head arrow.
P next.
Earlier, no, in create head, you have used head arrow P next. Yes, that was null. Now at the, okay, at the second node when you are adding, that means already head node is there. In our example, I think I took 10. Let us say that address is 100. Now 100 arrow P next was null because line number 18. Now when user is entering, let us say 28. Okay, now H is 100. Now here P becomes H, means 100 arrow P next itself is null. So P is pointing to H. So here you are changing head node, head arrow P next you are changing in line number 28. You follow?
That means P is nothing but head here, sir.
Yeah, that's it. When you are adding the second node, what are you changing is head arrow P next only.
Sir, then we can't declare head has constant, no, sir. Constant head, constant node star head.
Yeah, that is correct. Correct. You cannot use constant node star. That is correct. Because you have to change head internal part of P arrow, what is it? P next. P next has to be changed. So therefore constant cannot be used. Let us try that. If I do constant, then I'll get an error in line number 28. No, I'll not get error here. Where will I get error? Here I will not get any
When we change P next, sir.
one. I think that you can constant cannot be written here. That is correct. Okay, any other things?
Sir, when we are creating node 2, sir, that means head after node 1, then we are creating node 2, no, sir.
You are talking about 500, node number 500.
Yes, sir. That time P will be node 1, no, sir.
P will be, okay, when you are attaching 500, that time P is 400. That is correct. So that is the reason why you have to change P arrow P next, which was earlier null, with 500. So therefore P can't be constant. That means head cannot be constant.
That means P is pointing to, initially P is pointing to 400, no sir?
Yes. Initially
Yes, sir.
P is pointing to 400 only, which is nothing but head only. And because you are
Yes, sir.
adding the node with the value 35 in this diagram, and P arrow P next was null. Now because user is willing to add this 35, so that means P arrow P next, which is nothing but head arrow P next, which was null, needs to be changed to 500. So therefore it cannot be constant. What you said is correct. Okay?
Sir, one more doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, you told in previous case, like for creating of for linked linear
Linked list.
structure, sir,
Mm.
linked list, sir. Then
Mm.
you told 4 bytes, no sir.
Mm.
Why, sir?
Because the size of the integer is 4 bytes in our books, and size of any pointer is also size of integer, which is 4 bytes. So putting together,
Yes,
it is a structure, it is nothing but addition, so therefore it is 4.
yes, sir.
Okay? Okay, good. Any other doubts? Anybody has any other doubts? Any other doubts? Okay, fine. Next is what we will do is, yeah, here is a reflection point, a spot. We have another 20 minutes. Okay, so I just want to know how many of you are attentive. So what I'll do is I'm going to send a link on the chat box on WebEx. You will be given a time of 30 seconds, and you have to start answering the two questions. I mean, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
So, okay, good. What I'm doing is, let me open chat box. Your time starts now. Click that link. Click that link, and there are two questions in that link. Make ensure that you are writing your roll number. And in another 20 seconds, in another 15 seconds, I am going to close the responses, and that will be treated as the attendance of today's class. Students who are responding to that questions, which are ungraded questions, will be used in order to mark your attendance logically. Okay, last 5 seconds. Make ensure that you are submitting. I got 15 responses as of now. I'm again repeating, please make ensure that you are submitting. Otherwise, you will be treated as absent to the class. Those who have submitted, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I got only 32 responses. That means 28 students are absent. Shall I confirm that? I think the The count is also visible to you. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, I'll stop here, not the class. I'll stop accepting the responses. Should I? That means there are 20 students who are absent. Now, if I don't stop, then there is a probability that you can forward that link and asking your friend to call those things. Okay. But most of the students are not attentive because your score on average of 2 marks, you got only 0.8. That means what you have chosen are the wrong answers. So let me stop accepting the responses. So there are 41 responses I got. I'm just stopping it now. No more responses will be. Okay, still I'm getting 43, 44. 44, 45, 45. Okay, I'll stop. I think I have given enough time. Can somebody respond? Did I give enough time? Can somebody respond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so any other student, any other students, please acknowledge. Did I give enough time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm stopping the. So there are 46 responses, meaning there are 23 students who are absent. Okay, so I'll be treating this logical attendance as the meaningful attendance. Okay, so anyway, let us continue our next discussion. Shall we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Maybe what I'll do is let us go back to this. Let me open the quiz because that many of you have given the wrong answer. Okay, let us go through the two questions which I have asked. What is the limit of the maximum number of data set that can be connected by using a single linked list or any linked list? The answer is 3. There is no limit. It is infinite number. However, the maximum number of nodes depend on the availability of RAM, data memory, not ROM. It is RAM.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is the second one? Which unit? It is unit 5, and we are studying single linked list.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a sort of the to make ensure that I need to understand whether are you understand. Okay. So one question which is basic concept level, and second question which is the virtually physically connected question is being asked. We are connected virtually, but I need to make ensure that you are connected there with a virtual session physically. Okay. Now let us go back to the problem. We have 10 minutes. Now probably what I'll do is I will ask you to rewrite the display function using recursion. Now this is how it will be asked. Now what is my requirement? I want you to display the list nodes by using the concept of recursion. It is very easy to use the concept of recursion in single linked list. Can somebody respond? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
And we are going very, very slow because there are so many other logics. I thought I'll be completing in today's class itself, but it is taking too much of time. Maybe anyway, our session also the alumni also got extended. So let us see. Okay. Now what I want is I will comment this fellow starting from there till here. I want you to write the same function which is void display of node star h. Display this using recursion. Yeah, can somebody tell what is the logic? is
Static node star P.
required. Why static? Directly what
We
you can
have to
do
use
is
the
directly what you can use is notice that H is not an actual head. H is an alias. That is point number one. Some message. Let me check whether it is meaningful messages, which is very important. Roll number 20 lost the connection, so he or she, okay, could not join the class as well as quiz. Okay, those who have not joined, ask them to call me after the class, after the classes, before I post the attendance, which will happen at 3 o'clock. So inform to your friends. I need to know reasons. If there are 40, I mean, if there are 16 students, I'm ready to listen all the 16 students' reasons. There is no problem. But unless and until students don't call, I will not give attendance. Okay? Okay. Yeah, so let us come back to our recursion. So notice that, can somebody respond? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, good. So if H is reaching to the null, that means that is the last fellow. This is my base this is my base value. This is my base value. Recursive function, base value, identify the base condition. Of saying a value, tell that this is a base condition. Now what? I have to print the first fellow. That first fellow is nothing but H. That means C out H arrow X. I'll get the first fellow. I'll also print the link. Fellow. Then this. Then what? I'll pass the same display function with head arrow pointer to next node semicolon. Sir, no. Let us go back to this. Now, what is H? H is alias of head. Now, understand this. I'll be switching between this and this. Can somebody acknowledge? Is the switching is happening in your screen as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's a recursive logic, which is a very simple. You notice that now H is, assume that you have these 4 nodes. H is 400. H is 400. 400 is not null. What are you printing? You are printing 400 arrows, which is in line number T8. So what are you printing? You are printing 41. Then H is being modified, and the same display function is called with H arrow P next. What is H arrow P next? 500. That means you are entering again with 500. 500 is not null. Then you are printing 500 arrow X. What is 500 arrow X? 35. So after printing 35, you are passing the next address, which is 145. Again, 145 is not null. 145 arrow X. What is that? 76. You printed 76. Then what? Then you are printing, then you are passing 91. Now 91 is also not null. Then 91 arrow X, 365. 365 arrow X is 91. So that 91 will be printed, and finally you are passing null, and then null is true. Then you are returning, then back 4 times. Done? Following. Are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Let us run this. Okay, create head. So let me take 5 multiples. 5. Head node value is 5. Now let me add a node. Second node fellow is 10. Now let me add another fellow. Third node fellow is 15. Now let me add a last node, which is 20. Now display using recursion. 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. This is another reason why to split your linked list into functions. Clear? Clear? Can somebody come in?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir.
Okay, now let us go to the next requirement. Now my next requirement is add a new node, add a new, I think it is not visible, new head to the list. That means you already have a list. I'm reconsidering the same list. Okay, earlier 400 is the head. Now add a new head. That means you are asked to add a new node, not at the end, at the beginning. Are you following? So let me
yes, sir.
traverse the logic. I'm sorry. Yeah, so let us assume h, which is alias by head, alias of head, whose address is 400, has this list with 41, 35, 76, 91. Now I want to add a new head just before head. That means I have to change head. So now sorry. Now what you do is, now you take a temporary node star temp is null, create a temp. Now that temp is, let us assume it is 700 in this case. Now temp has to be head. Yes or no? Temp has to be head now. That means with what value you need to add a new head, that is temp, the new address that you have created, in that address arrow x has to be the new value k, which is 41. And temp, which is 700, which was earlier pointing to, which was earlier pointing to some junk. You are saying that you take this 400 and then keep that into temp arrow p next. Then what is that you have done? You have created a new head. Now who is head? Head is, I think I have not changed h to temp. There is a bug here. You have to change h is equal to temp. Otherwise head is not 400 now. Head is 700 now, isn't it? So you have to return h, but before that you have to change h is equal to temp. So shall we do this? Shall we add this another menu into the program? Did you understood? There is a bug in this slide. There is a bug. I have to change h. Somebody respond.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
So what I'm doing is add a new head. So I'm going to return node star, add a new head. Adding a new head is different, creating a head is different. Notice that. Node star, what you have to add, that is int. Now let me throw that as option number 4. What I'll do is probably put it in the next. Okay, no. Maybe this 3 as display. Okay, already code is there. Let me take 5. 5 option is add a node first. Nothing but create a new head. Add a new node at the head, at the front. Are you following? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me use case 5 now. Let me use case 5. So you ask the user to enter the value of new head. Okay. Now take that into n. Now you say head is equal to add new head of head comma n. Then you pop up a message saying that cout new head is added, and then break. Okay, so now I have to implement this. I'll take 1 or 2 minutes and then I'll close the session. Okay. So what I have to do, this is nothing but it is returning node star, add new head. So this is my node star h, which is alias of head, int a. Now inside this, I need to create node star temp is equal to what? Now what? At the beginning, I have to change. That means temp is equal to new node. Then temp arrow x must be k. Then earlier, because before you change head, earlier head arrow p next to whomever it was pointing to, you need to bring that into temp arrow p next as head arrow p next, and then h has to be temp. H has to be temp, and then return h. Somebody come in. Are you following? Is
Sir, in line number 48, H should be written, sir.
line number 48, 50, right? Talking about 50?
48, sir.
48 temp arrow p next new node's next address is h. Yeah, that is correct. This is alias of head. Done? Shall I come?
Yes, sir.
I have not written the function prototype. There could be a warning. Students have already started leaving the session. No head. No, I have written the prototype, but it is taking too much of time. Let me stop this. Maybe let me again run it again. Yeah. Let me create nodes with 3 numbers. First one is, let us say, 41 is created. Second node at the end, let us say 20. Again, then again add at the end, let us say 55. Let me display this. Let me display this first. 41, 20, 55. Now I want to create a new node with option number 5. Enter the value of the new head. Let us enter 777. Now let me display, which is 3. Now notice that we are writing the display using recursion. Okay, we lost it. We lost something.
Sir, in recursion, we are corrupting head.
Yeah. We are corrupting head. So let us. This is where you have to be careful. Okay, so display. Let me retain. Here 5 is stopping. No, 4 is stopping. Now let me non-recursive code. I think I'll stop here. Probably you can complete this. Can you complete this?
Yes, sir.
So I'll share this source code post the lecture. Okay, and other things also can you do, like maybe in the next class we will tackle how to insert at a specific place. For example, I want to add a node after the second node. Okay, so that is my requirement. Next is I want to add a node after a specific value, not after a specific place, after a specific node with a specific value. Next, I want to add a node just before the tail node. Just before the tail node. That means just before 91. I hope, are you listening? These are all questions. I want to add a
Yes, sir.
I want to add a node before 91. I want to add a node exactly next to 41. That means insert a node in between the nodes. Okay, then if I have a linked list like this, I need to, let us say, I want to sort it. I want to sort it. Okay, I want to search it. Now in sorting, I want to do bubble sort. I want to do selection sort of linked list. Okay, then that completes insertion and sorting. Then I want to delete. Let us say I want to delete head. I want to delete tail. I want to delete a node at a specific location. I want to delete a node in the linked list with having a value of so and so. Okay, and I want to parse the list such that the duplicate nodes are getting deleted. Now these are the advantages which you will find in linked list compared with arrays, because unlike in arrays, see, assume that in the computational requirement in this picture which is there on your board, let us say I want to add a value 50 after 35. How do you do it in an array? Let us assume you already have some scalable array. You already have the array as 41, 35, 76 and 91. 41, 35, 76 and 91. Now I want to keep 50 in between 35 and 76. How do you add that record without moving the contents of your arrays? Not possible. Yes or no? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now in linked list, what needs to be done? You give a birth to a new temp node in between 35 and 76. Change this 145 to that birth node, and that birth node arrow hex is your 50, and your birth node arrow p next is 145. That's it. Break this link.
Yes, sir.
Okay, addition, deletion will be extremely simple. So therefore, nonlinear data structures coding is always more efficient for data processing. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So with this, I'll stop here. And probably I thought of giving the third assignment at this point because the time is up. I think I have another 10 minutes before you start your other session. Shall I tell the assignment? Shall I explain the third assignment problem? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
I want somebody else to respond. Is it okay? Can somebody?
Yes, sir.
Is the rule number 15? Are you listening? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine, good. So my assignment is this. The third assignment, which is open to everybody, which is open for 10 students, is this. Initially, you start creating a linked list with nothing. That means head is pointing to null. Head is pointing to null. Okay. Then you have to allow the user to enter English word. You allow the user to enter one specific English word which will start from A to Z. Okay, which will start from A to Z. And whatever word user has entered, that word you maintain an array of 26 lists. You maintain an array of 26 where array of 0 points to all that singly linked list which are starting with A. For example, user is entering apple. You create a node at A of 0. And let us say user is creating anger. So you attach apple with anger, singly linked list. So I'm bringing the problem of the notion of two-dimensionality data with a static array of linked list structures, and with each record holding a pointer to the same pointer to the English words that starts with the same character A. So typically what I'm asking you is to design a perceptron or to design a artificial neuron so that whatever user is entering the word in the English, whatever user is entering, you are now maintaining a singly linked list of 26 entries. Okay, and then whatever user has entered, only that content you echo back. For example, content C. In C, you have to keep one list. Echo E. In E, you have to keep back. So this is nothing but how the Google does data analytics. Are you following? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Then if you impose natural language processing algorithms for predictive texting, this yields to your neural network designs. Okay. So what I have asked you to create a one layer of neuron which is maintaining an array of 26 English character based singly linked list structures. So the problem is open. I'll again reframe and probably put that in a one slide, and then I will ask you to throw the answers, and it is open for any first 10 students who will be submitting. Am I clear? Anybody has any doubts?
Clear, sir.
Clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So next class, we will solve the sorting, searching, then addition, deletion, inserting, and then next class will be the last class for probably addition and then sorting. Then we will take another class for deletion. Okay, and then other fellows are waiting. Stacks. Before that, I'll take another class to mix the concept of template with the class with the singly linked list. Templates we have studied, class is still pending, linked list we have studied. So let us mix class, templates, and linked list, and then we will take up another session. So this is my course plan, which will happen for the next of the 1 week. So I now advise you to start thinking logically and then improvise your programming skills. So let me sign off, and we will see in the next class. Okay. And one more point, 1 minute. I need to schedule one CRC meeting. May I know at what time your classes will be completed today? Can somebody come in? Or otherwise, fine, leave it. I'll get back to you later. You need to take the permission first. So I'm stopping here. I'm signing off, and I'm stopping the recording. Okay.